Live from Central Pennsylvania, this is CBS 21 News This Morning.
Good morning and happy holidays. I'm Jessie McDonough. This morning, we're taking you back to the heartwarming stories of Pennsylvania. This year, I've gotten the opportunity to highlight the people and businesses that are proudly Pennsylvanian. From places making changes and working through the pandemic to those who are working to expand equity across the region. We start in Lancaster County with how a local church has brought parishioners from all over the U.S. together during the time of isolation. Pre-pandemic, keyboardist Ryan Arndt played hymns every Sunday service at the West Green Tree Church of Brethren, Elizabethtown. However, that was halted when the coronavirus hit. So Arndt, his pastor, and the church decided to bring the music to people's homes virtually.
We decided to do this because we were just looking for a way to creatively work something into our schedule of empowering people, encouraging them, just giving them something to do during the week when we aren't able to have our regular church services. So just a way of encouragement.
The church started a YouTube channel and Hymn Sing was born. People from all over the country and even as far as Japan have been requesting worship songs and singing along from home. We
started out the first week or two was a lot of the very timeless hymns of the church. And as we've gone, we've kind of deviated. We've included some more contemporary tunes, some more gospel tunes.
Almost 200 people tuned in to watch and listen to Hymn Sing last week, and the video had over 2,000 views in just 3 days.
What a wonderful change in my life has been wrought.
Arndt says Hymn Sing is uniting people from around the country with worship and hope for a better tomorrow.
They're sending us song lyrics that are really especially meaningful right now. It's time of hope. They need something to hold on to. They sing these songs each week as a way to be encouraged and find hope to face tomorrow.
Regular service has since resumed at the West Green Tree Church of Brethren, Elizabethtown, and they say some new congregants have actually showed up for services after watching the Hymn Sing online. While many businesses have not stopped due to the pandemic, in York, the Black Swan Ballet Company is giving access to dance classes at a low cost for folks across the area. I got the chance to speak to the owner, who's giving people of all colors and classes the chance to dance. When Workenda Williams-Casey was dancing professionally, she faced racism within her ballet company.
So I wasn't rising with the rest of the company, and I was wondering what I was doing wrong. And my artistic director at the time gave me the biggest gift. She reached across the table, patted me on the hand, and said, "No one wants to see a black, white swan." So after that, I said that there was going to be no way that anyone would hear that again.
Williams-Casey began to teach and started her own ballet company. She named it Black Swan Ballet Company. She made it her mission to change the face, color, and class of ballet.
The reason that there aren't very many people of color in the ballet world is because the ballet world is not just a sport, it's an aesthetic art. And people have in their mind, when you think ballet dancer, you think a certain body type, you think a certain hair, you think a certain color.
She says black and brown dancers face unique challenges fitting in the ballet world.
Point shoes tend to be bright pink. What if your skin is like this? What do you do? People are just starting to make point shoes in these colors, but they're not making them for students. Our hair. What do you do with it when you're told, hey, it has to be in a slick back bun? How do you celebrate you, your body type? How do you celebrate who you are?
Many of Williams-Casey's dancers belong to another studio. She says the purpose of her ballet company is to make them stronger dancers and to give them a sense of belonging.
We have some kids who are Hispanic and mixed and Asian and just all of these lovely things, but the thing that they have in common is when they look in the mirror at their ballet studio, It's only them. And I've had a couple of my younger students who are shocked to see there's a brown ballet dancer? What? And it's because they've never seen it.
About 5 years ago, the Central Penn Field Hockey Club was formed. However, they're already getting national recognition. And it all started with a proudly Pennsylvanian woman who wanted to show her love for the sport.
Belinda Heltzel played Division II field hockey for Bloomsburg University from 1996 to 99. She helped lead the team to 4 straight NCAA championships. When her Husky career came to an end, she wanted to spread her love of the sport to local kids, including her 10-year-old daughter.
I began with a beginner youth program called Mini Sticks, and its goal was to just introduce the sport and allow players just an opportunity to come out and give it a try, and it was beginner level.
Interest in the sport grew like wildfire.
She is just constantly pushing us outside of our comfort zones. She makes us feel like there's no limit we can't reach.
Then we had a lot of players that just kept growing and loving it and wanted to play more, and we heard about different club tournaments and opportunities, so we just kind of took one small group of players to a couple club tournaments, and they loved it, and everyone just kept asking for us, let's make a club.
And so Central Penn Field Hockey was born in 2015. In just 5 short years, the club has grown from just a few players Coach Belinda Heltzel knew to more than 275 players. The club is made up of girls and boys ages 10 to 19. Central Penn's U12 and U19 teams have placed 2nd and 3rd in the nation at the U.S. Indoor Field Hockey Championships. This year, Central Penn Field Hockey was selected as 2020 National Club of the Year by USA Field Hockey. For players like Julia Brenneman say they have Coach Belinda to thank for their success and the growth of the club.
We have like the younger kids out here today, and you can just see like their love of the game, and that kind of roots not only from people like Belinda, but just like the players she makes.
CB Hockey! 1, 2, 3, CB!
Coach Belinda says she has 16 field hockey players this year that have started collegiate careers. Coming up, it's no secret, you can find some amazing food throughout Central PA. Meet the woman who moved to the region from Poland and how she's helping fulfill Pennsylvania's sweet tooth. Plus, blizzards, a depression, and a pandemic. None of that has stopped one local business from providing food to folks for 100 years. What the owners of Proneos Market and Hershey say has helped them keep going. Over the past few months, we've seen a number of PA eateries hit incredibly hard by the pandemic. Many have had to close, but one bakery is weathering the storm thanks to the help of some one-of-a-kind pastries.
Janina Terziak got her passion for baking from her mother back in Poland.
It's from the family generation. My mom, she was a great cook and she was a great baker. She never went to school, and we have like a little motel and down in the mountain in a hotel, and she was cooking like 60 dinners every day.
She decided to hone her skills by attending culinary school in Poland. Then in 1989, she migrated to New York.
We came with just suitcase with my husband, and then we start from scratch.
Terziak worked as a housekeeper in Manhattan before moving to Maryland to work at a French bakery. Finally, she and her husband saved up enough money to open up Janina's Fine Desserts in York.
First few years it was struggle because I was new till I established my business, so it was difficult, especially because I have a European pastry, so not many people was familiar with the pastry. They look beautiful, but they don't know if they taste good. But now I just break the hearts of the customer, and they know the pastry, they love the pastry, yes.
Janina's has been a fan favorite in York for the past 21 years. She even expanded and added a sit-in cafe. She says what makes her bakery so proudly Pennsylvanian is Central PA is actually rich in Polish heritage.
The many people, when they come, and I also have like smoked kielbasa go with that, so they just They just love it. They say, oh my God, it reminds me of my grandmother.
One local business has stayed open through 2020 and a century worth of tough times. This year, I got the chance to take you inside the market that's been keeping the Hershey community fed.
Proneos Market has been providing fresh produce to Chocolatetown for the past 100 years. The family-owned business has been through 4 generations.
Yeah, so my great-grandfather started the business in 1919. He immigrated from Italy in the early 1900s, and he moved down to Derry from New York. Derry was here before Hershey, and he started the business with his family right in his own house in a parlor shop. So his living room was the business.
James Proneo credits the service from his dad's longtime employees.
So we bag your groceries for you, we take them out to your car, and if you want a 4 or 5 pound rib roast, boned out, tied, seasoned, give us 15 minutes, we'll have it out for you.
And loyal customers for the longevity of his dad's family-owned grocery store.
We wouldn't also be here if it weren't for the community to support us. So therefore, my family takes great pride in making sure that this business is open no matter what. So any kind of blizzards through the past 20, 30 years, through this event, obviously, through the Depression, my great-grandfather made sure the business was always open, and he also ran tabs for people back then. It's all about, neighbors helping neighbors out.
PA is also home to a number of amazing minority-owned businesses. Next, see how they're working to keep the region healthy and how they're providing a unique sense of style. This year, we've gotten the chance to introduce you to a number of minority-owned businesses that are all proudly Pennsylvanian. This morning, we're taking you back to some of them that are working to improve the lives of others. We start with one man who was also able to turn his own life around.
1, go.
Corey Allen found his passion in a dark place.
I actually went to prison for a long time. I did some things that I regret, and it was there that I actually found fitness. And fitness, for me, it inspired me and made me believe that I could do anything if I worked hard for it.
Better?
Yep, perfect.
Upon being released from prison, Allen had a tough time getting a job until he landed one as a personal trainer and then eventually opened up his own CrossFit gym called CrossFit Bat Cave.
I had a client who recommended that I start to train in her one-car garage. And that client then became my business partner eventually.
Allen says his gym isn't just about aesthetics.
A lot of people like the aesthetics, which are fine if that's what you're into. But for us, it's more about wanting to grow up with, grow up and be healthy, to be able to play with our grandchildren, to try to prolong the aging process as long as possible.
All the way back. There you go.
Normally, Allen has about 75 regular clients, but COVID has cut his revenue by 70%. He got no help from the Paycheck Protection Program, so he had no choice but to adjust his business model.
And what I have gained during COVID is more one-on-one clients. So I started to do programming for people at home based on whatever equipment they had, and then we also did like equipment rentals. And then I dove into more nutrition coaching.
Allen says he named his CrossFit gym the Bat Cave because, like Batman, he went through some difficult things, but through hard work, he was able to come out better on the other side.
But now to be in a position to lead people to become the best versions of themselves, coming from where I come from and the things that I've experienced and been through, I think for me it is huge, and everyone likes a good comeback story.
2020 also marked the beginning for some small businesses. We were there as one brave man launched his enterprise with the goal of getting people to drink healthier.
1, 2, 3.
Sean Banks and his team celebrated the grand opening of their new local small business, Crisp Drinks.
We are a company that specializes in organic flavored waters with 0 sugar, 0 net carbs, and minimal calories. We want it to be a healthy soda alternative, so that way, people can live a healthy life without getting all that sugar in their diet.
Banks says his idea for Crisp started as a joke with his wife about 5 years ago.
And I started working as a convenience store manager, and was just noticing all the different beverages, and I started asking people why they bought them. and it was to perceive health benefits.
During that same time, Banks' mother was diagnosed with diabetes.
So we wanted to make a drink that she could enjoy that would be healthy for her.
But Banks' passion for helping others live healthier lives was met with adversity when the pandemic hit.
We kind of launched last year with just the spring water, but this spring we were supposed to launch with a full product run. And then COVID happened. So then it just kind of made us have to sit back and figure out how to get into market. So what we did was launched our online e-commerce website.
Now that retailers are opening back up, Banks says his company has started taking meetings with big box retailers. Banks says Crisp Drinks is more than just making money. It's about helping Central Pennsylvanians live healthier lives.
I'm from Pennsylvania. Our water source is from Pennsylvania. Where I source my labels is from Pennsylvania. Our eco-friendly recycled plastic bottles are from Pennsylvania. We are Pennsylvania proud.
Central PA is also rich in diverse cultures. This year, I got the chance to speak with a woman from Cameroon, Africa, who is bringing her fashion to folks in downtown Harrisburg.
Chantel Nga Ulundu first migrated from Cameroon to New York City before following family to Central PA. She was looking for work and always had a passion for fashion, so she began selling traditional African clothing at the Broad Street Market.
When I first started in 2015 at the Broad Street Market, I had just half of a table. African American, who are almost, I would say, 95% of my customers, will come to me, oh, why don't you get this for us?
Before long, the Nyanga store was born.
The store name is Nyanga Store. I just added store. Nyanga, I'm from Cameroon, so in my language is Iton. So on Iton, Nyanga means fashion.
Now Chantel sells everything from traditional African clothing to homemade shea butter, authentic African jewelry, and now even COVID masks to keep customers safe and stylish. Chantel says she never realized how deeply she would impact the community with her fashion.
I have customers come here that really get emotional because of to bring Africa here. They kind of feel the piece of themselves. That's how also we realize that culture is not just something you throw away.
Home remodeling companies have seen a major boom in business over the past few months as more people are forced to work remotely. But one woman is helping turn stuck at home into at-home sanctuary.
She had these, they were regular black frame mirrors, you can see under here. And then I added this like leather fringe trim and then took gold leaf paint on the interior.
Cachet Adams always had an eye for style.
Out of college, my hustle was selling vintage clothing. And in my head, I always wanted to branch off and do home.
Adams was blessed with a baby. She also closed her vintage clothing store. She decided it was time to chase her true passion, interior design. Cachet Domain Interiors took off.
So this one here, we're in Hurston Manor here in Front Street in Harrisburg. It's the main hub for the YPOC, or Young Professionals of Color. This is their main room. I think they're calling it Trinidad Room. And so I designed it with the organization in mind. I also did another project on Bellevue Road. That was for N9 Properties. And her goal was to have affordable rental properties that had pizzazz.
As a black designer, Cachet Adams says she not only has a style that celebrates her culture, but is also unique to her own identity.
Here, because it's Young Professionals of Color, is what the YPOC stands for. So they wanted that, and so I said, you know what I'll do? I'll frame an Afro pick.
She has this advice for budding designers while styling their own homes.
Mirrors are always a good thing. I love mirrors. They expand the space. If you put them opposite of windows, they bring in more light. Do not be afraid of color. It just livens the space up. My third one I think is most important is if it feels right to you, do it.
Adams told me the best part about her interior design business is that it's homegrown.
I am born and raised. I'm a Harrisburgian all day.
Well, Once known for selling staples of the community, coming up, we take you inside the proudly Pennsylvania market that's been providing sellers a place to put their products in front of you for generations. Our last story focuses on a market that's been around since the late 1940s. I got the chance to speak with the owner of the West Shore Farmers Market about how it's an integral part of the Cumberland County community.
Fresh flowers, organic produce, and lots of sweet treats. There's something for everyone at the West Shore Farmers Market.
We have a lot of really good tarts. Our chocolate French silk, our key lime.
I would say probably our apples. I mean, that's pretty much what we're known for.
It's delicious. It's a two-tone fish, and it's from the Susquehanna River, and it's really good.
The West Shore Farmers Market is known for Pennsylvania staples like this apple butter that's made right in Dillsburg.
This 60,000 square foot building has 75 local vendors that serve up Pennsylvania staples to Central PA families.
But a lot of the produce that they sell is grown right on their own farm.
It's a multi-generational business that just had its 70th birthday.
My wife's grandfather built the market originally on this spot. And he passed away in 1958. And my father-in-law ran the market from about till about 1994. My wife and I have been running it since then.
But more than anything, it's a place where community members come together to bask in all things Pennsylvania.
We come almost every Friday, at least.
We see everybody. It's a great community spot. Not only do people come here to shop to get great food, to take home to cook or to eat right here, but it's also a great community meeting place.
You can see all of our Proudly Pennsylvanian reports by going to CBS21.com. Just look for the Proudly Pennsylvanian sections under the News tab. There you can also learn more about each business and organization and how you can support them. Thanks for spending your holidays with us. I'm Jessie McDonough. Coming up in the next half hour, we're taking a closer look at the top stories of 2020.